I was born in 1990. In my life, I have liked different things over time, for periods. Almost like phases, you could say. So, in today's video, we are going to have a top 10 countdown of kids' TV that helped me get where I am today. Starting at 10, going down to 1. Let's get that cracking right now. Number 10 is number 10 is one that a lot of you won't remember. Well, it depends how good your memory is. Number 10, as playing in the background, is Playdays. That's right. I remember that was one of the first TV shows I ever got into. I mean, I'm talking as like a baby child and all that. And, you know, Playdays was a cracking TV show for the time, made by the Ragdoll Company. And believe it, I have been to the Ragdoll shop in Stratford-upon-Avon. So Playdays is in at number 10, mostly because I still remember it to this day, and the theme tune just takes me back in a heartbeat. Now again, number 9 is another one that takes you back really far, but I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see I often post this when I'm having a moment or two. Number 9 is Raggy Dolls. That's right, the TV show that actually gave you, in childhood, that gave you values that you should use today. Playing in the background now is a studio version of the song, released by Neil Innes on his website. Go to his website and get it. Only playing a few seconds of it though, because it's not fair otherwise. So number 9 is Raggy Dolls. Oh man, now we are getting somewhere. Number 8 is the Magic fucking School Bus. Number 8 on the list is the Magic School Bus. A program, just showing a teacher doing things that teachers probably aren't allowed to do. Giving all of you primary school kids a cool teacher that you can look up to, instead of the boring, grey-haired old bastard who was teaching you at the time. The Magic School Bus had Miss Frizzle, in my opinion, a lesbian, just the way I see it. Ginger woman taking kids off in this magic school bus and going on adventures where they learned good subjects. It's even pretty good. And there were some video games. Now, I had a lot of them on the PC. The space one, the jungle one, the dinosaurs one. Fantastic stuff. Great stuff for you to watch. Watch it. Magic School Bus in at number 8. Those of you who know me and know that I am from a Welsh family, they will know why this one is in at number 7. In at number 7 is Fireman Sam, set in a Welsh village called Pontypandy. Now, let me just clarify. I'm on about the original Fireman Sam, not this bullshit CGI that they're doing at the moment. You can take that and put that up your bottom. I'm telling you now, that is crap. Not this bullshit CGI stuff, it's terrible. I'm talking about the original one, narrated by a Welshman who didn't speak English great. That's right, Fireman Sam, in at number 7. And to this day, every time I see a fireman who appears to be doing not all that much, I tap him on the shoulder and go, "Hi, is your name Sam?" And they always look at me like I'm confusing, because they're all mostly Asian. Fireman Sam, number fucking 7. Coming up, number 6. As we as people and kids age up, we move on to more grown-up kind of material. Now, okay, I'm not putting porn in here, don't worry. Number 6 is The Mask. Now, obviously, there was a cracking film made around about the time with Jim Carrey, and I'm talking about the animated cartoon of the same movie. Unfortunately, I can't find any clips of it to play you. I'm going to just put some links in the description. But there's links in the description to help you find every single thing that I'm talking about today. But number 6 is The Mask. Now, obviously, at the time of this one, Power Rangers was going strong, but no, Power Rangers is not my number. It's not my number 5. Power Rangers is in this list, but not yet. Number 5 is the Big Bad Beetleborgs. Now, the Big Bad Beetleborgs was a cartoon, and before it became a show, it was a comic book, and they played this into the anime by making the Beetleborgs a comic book characters in the anime that was made about a comic book. I'm getting confused now. But yeah, Big Bad Beetleborgs. And if you are a smart little bugger, you will notice that the Big Bad Beetleborgs, some of the suits from the Big Bad Beetleborgs, popped up in Forever Red. If you noticed that, tell me in the comments where you spotted it. I'm always pointing it out, but the Big Bad Beetleborgs popped up in Forever Red. Nobody ever references this. Probably because Big Bad Beetleborgs was terrible. But it's nostalgic for me, so it's in the list. Number 5, Big Bad Beetleborgs. Numbers now. Number 4 is Digimon. Yeah, Digimon is in at number 4. Now, obviously, Digimon was all about digital monsters living in like a computer-based world. Yeah, seriously, if you're watching this, you fucking know what Digimon is. I'm telling you now, you know what it is. And if you don't know what Digimon is, what are you doing watching my channel, you 2-year-old? You should know what Digimon is. Digimon was cool for the first 2 seasons. Then they ruined it. Oh, God, it's like a lovely, lovely kebab, and then somebody comes over and takes a shit on it. You don't do that. Digimon was good the first 2 seasons. Everyone says the first season was good, the second season was shit. I preferred the second season to the first season because they actually aged their characters. That's a novel concept in the world of sort of monster-based shows, which I'll be talking about a little bit later, Ash. But yeah, number 4 is Digimon. More specifically for season 2. Love you. Number 3 is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine that I've recently got back into, and I really shouldn't have. So number 3 is Sailor Moon. Mostly for that theme tune, let's be honest. Sailor Moon, a show about well, incidentally, I discovered 14-year-old girls who get magical powers that make them wear short skirts. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it if some boffin in Japan thought it up today, would you? You know, yeah, do you know what, everybody? I think we need to make a new TV show. Yeah, we need to make a new TV show about how a girl is given a magic stick and it turns her into a slag. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Yeah. Oh my God, Sailor Moon was the original version of the Kardashians. Sailor Moon in at number 3. Anybody who knows anything about my channel, who watches any of my content, knew this was coming. Number 2 on my list. And now this is going to upset some of my viewers because they're going to want it to have been number 1. But number 2 on my list is Pokemon. Yeah, I know. Why is Pokemon at number 2, I hear you screaming while you light your torches and grab your pitchforks and head to my house? It's simple, right? Pokemon was brilliant when I was a kid, right? And let me sort of go in, this one's going to be a long chat section, but Pokemon is brilliant still today. Let me get this straight. But there are a few things about Pokemon that I wish they would change, but that I know they never will. For those of you who watched my discussions with people like Hardy Tech Yo-Yo, the Exiles, and mostly the one I had with Smurfette AGB, will know that a lot of us subscribe to the fact that Ash Ketchum should age. Now, I mentioned this before, that Digimon had its characters age, and Pokemon doesn't. Well, not properly, you know. He's aged what? He's aged what? 3 years in a decade and a half. But you know, if they just aged Ash, I could still follow through with it properly. I still watch Pokemon today, and I play the games and stuff. Yeah, but honestly, some of the better Pokemon storytelling exists in like places like fanfiction and on YouTube and stuff like that, because it's people who are telling the stories that they can never tell in Pokemon because Ash is still 11 years old. But this is all about nostalgia. The things that I feel nostalgic for, Pokemon is one of them, and therefore it is in at number 2. Not yet. I'm not telling you number 1 quite yet, because this one is going to be a little section about things that would have got into the list but didn't. So this is a little section about honourable mentions. First honourable mention for the list that would have made the list but didn't because I've only got 10 places. VR Troopers. Yeah, virtual reality troopers. Now let me tell you a little story about VR Troopers. Do you guys remember a pretty famous guy called Jason David Frank? No? No one? No one remembers him? No? No? I don't either. Oh, yeah, Jason David Frank. Yeah, played Tommy in Power Rangers. Yeah. He was originally supposed to be the main character, the main actor in VR Troopers. And the guy who was in VR Troopers was going to come into Power Rangers as a new character who was then going to take up the mantle of the White Ranger. And obviously Tommy would have been the Green Ranger, and then he disappeared and would have never come back. And, he wouldn't be as famous as he is now, because VR Troopers fucking bombed. Let's be honest. But, yeah, in the end, people were like, we want Tommy back, we want Tommy back. If you don't bring Tommy back, we're going to burn down your houses and bum your children. And they had to bring Tommy back. And then, obviously, they did, and Tommy's a star. But the original guy, Ryan Steele, he played in... I think it was Ryan Steele. It might have been Brad. I'm not sure, but he played in VR Troopers, which was very similar to Digimon, which is sort of like if you imagine Power Rangers but using the internet, which is quite a funny idea, really. Because obviously that's what it was. And but I always thought the VR Troopers thing was quite cool. I had some of the action figures, mainly because it bombed and they were cheaper than Power Ranger toys at the time. But yeah, VR Troopers bombed, and it's not bad, if you look back. Plus, virtual reality troopers. Hey! But let's talk about some more of the things that should have made the list. I think Teletubbies should have made the list, but didn't. It's an honourable mention because, well, it was a program that I used to watch on a black and white TV. Shock horror, go all the 12-year-olds. What's a black and white TV? I'm going back to Call of Duty now. Bye, 12-year-olds. Right. Yeah, I used to watch Teletubbies on a black and white TV. Now, obviously, there was a purple one, a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. Yeah, well, on a black and white TV, there were 2 blacks and 2 whites. It made it into quite an ethical adventure, really. And of course, so... And there was the purple gay one, or whatever. But, yeah, so Teletubbies is an honourable mention for this list. Those are the honourable mentions that I've got at the moment for the list. Now, I'm going to go to number 1. What number 1 is yet? There's one show that I haven't mentioned. Number 1 on my list is Power Rangers. Yeah, Power Rangers at number 1. No surprise there. I was a big Power Rangers nerd back in the day. I still am to some degree. I just kind of wish they'd do a proper Mighty Morphin Power Rangers remake game. And not that terrible one. They really should make one. Do it with modern technology and all that. Obviously Power Rangers Super Legends they kind of tried to do it, but they didn't do it properly. I think they should do it, and especially with a big anniversary coming up, and we've got the big Legends War coming up. Seriously, watch that stuff. That stuff is fucking awesome. I had a nostalgia boner for 2 days when I watched that. So you guys really need to see that. But yeah, Power Rangers is in at number 1, mainly because of the theme tune. Yeah, that theme tune. So thank you guys for watching this top 10 TV shows from my childhood. If you have any abuse to send me, please go to www.igivelimitedshits.com. That's igivelimitedshits.com. If you have any nice things to say, post them in the comments below. If you post any hate in the comments below, I will do nothing about it because I don't care about you and Call of Duty. So, thank you guys for watching this countdown from 10 to 1. That's right, an old person who is 23 years old can count to 10.